So this is the we are deploying an application for Ford company. They released a new vehicle and we wanted to deploy this application in the production server. Production nothing but who the end customer like us accessing through the internet. We are the end customers for this application. Okay. And Lincoln, like the Ford people, they don't deploy this application without testing. Okay. They don't deploy this application without testing. Like, for example, let me give you a very good idea. Let's say I'm writing a code. I'm writing a code to have this lease offer something, blah, blah, blah. So I need to print the security deposit, all these things. Okay. I need to have this box. Okay. This box, this everything. Okay. I can show you very good example actually. So I can show you the, what is that? Our company website actually, Venkat Chandra LLC company's website actually. So let me go here. Okay. I was writing the code. I was writing a front-end code to deploy the website, right? And let me go to the business page. Okay. And you see that, so I have this, I have this code. I wrote this code actually basically. And let me go some source code files actually. Okay, let me go here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Vishnu.
Priya, are you on the call?
Yes, Vishnu.
Okay. Thank you so much, Priya. So let's say I have not in documents actually. CD desktop, CD business documents. Website, right? And I was writing this code actually, business website. Okay. Yeah. So I was writing this code actually. Now I have this career section, right? I am writing this career section and Madhavi writing this contact HTML section and Priya writing this and Sharada writing one more section and Raj writing styles section and Ran is writing something else, right? And what I will do, I'll test this. I'll test this code from my side, basically. Okay, I'll test this code from my side. And like when I say I'll test this code from my side, let me open that. Let me open that careers section here. Yeah, this is the careers.html page. Okay. Now I wrote the code and I tested it completely. And it seems like, okay, we are the IT consulting company, which is offering cloud-based technologies. Okay. And I have these many positions open. Okay. That is good. And I have a contact information, office timings. Okay. That is good. And somebody writes something. Okay. They have this page implemented like a career opportunity for postgraduates, blah, blah, blah. This is what developer do. Developer, what he will do, he will test his part, like to make sure that he has done with his part. What integration, what actual integration, regression, what manual testing means, right? What exactly the manual testing means. Let's go here. Okay. And www.venkatachandragroup.com. They will come here. They will test like this. Okay. Let's go to home page. Okay. Okay, everything looks good on home page. Okay, about us. Okay, this text is there and we have 3 tabs. One is contact us, our timings, and a phone number. Yeah, that is good. Let's go to services. Okay, we have a recruitment section, marketing section. Okay, and we have these three sections common. Okay, yeah, that is good. And we have phone number on every section. That is good. Let's go to careers page. Okay, and we have open positions, everything. Okay, yeah, this is good. Let's go to contact section. Okay, join us, send a message page. Okay, everything looks good. But this is on the testing server. They do this on the testing server. If they get approval, the QA team will get approval. Then we deploy the same code. We deploy that same code from here, like a same this code. We deploy the same this business code, all these files into the production, that ford.com, that venkatachandragroup.com. Is that make sense, Rani? Hello?
Yeah, Vishnu, go ahead.
Anybody have any questions actually? So basically what exactly happening is, this is the Git. The code will be ready in Git, right? And this is the Git. This is the Git. The code will be ready in Git. before the developers, what they will do, they will implement their feature and they will test it and they will push it individually. Okay, and they will push it, and once the code is ready here, and the Jenkins is going to trigger the job. Okay, the Jenkins is going to trigger the job, and we have a two EC2 instances. One EC2 instance for testing, and one EC2 instance for production. Okay, the Jenkins is going to trigger the job, and it is going to go through the Maven build first. Okay, and the second stage is, once the Maven build is ready, it is going to go through the SonarQube test cases. SonarQube test cases means code quality. When I say code quality, let's say, for example, I can give you an example. I have 100 lines of code in this careers.html. 100 lines of code commented something like this. Okay. Unwanted code. This is not necessary. Something like this. I have the code something like this in my deployment branch, and what this SonarQube does is, the SonarQube can fail that build process basically, because hey, your code is very bad. You don't need that commented code. Why do you have 100 lines of commented code? Like, it's not like a high quality code. It doesn't say something like that. It will fail the test cases right here. And who will write that SonarQube test cases? These people only will write, because these people will know what exactly going inside that code. These three developers will know what exactly going inside this code. So this guy will write test cases for his part, his code part, and this guy will write test cases for his code part. This guy will write test cases for his code part. And these three in the Java src Java main section. This is a main code in the main section. And this test cases, right? This will be in the src test Java, test Java section. Okay, test Java section. Based on this unit test cases, and this sonar cube test will say the test passed or test failed. They are not doing any functionality testing like this, like like a venkatachandragroup.com career section, and they're not doing any functionality testing, right? And this is not exactly testing basically. So if the code passed that quality, right? Once the Maven build is ready, once the SonarQube code is ready, then they deploy that built artifacts like a jar file to Nexus. Okay, because they want to have this file, because it's not like they are deploying the code somewhere. From here, these people will deploy here, which is a testing EC2 testing environment, and they will go here, and instead of this venkatachandragroup.com, right, this will be the testing instance IP address. Something like that. Okay, that can be their instance IP, and they will log in because the code has been deployed on this server, this testing server, not like a domain server, not like a venkatachandragroup.com, this domain server. Then what they will do, they will do the whole functionality testing, like a career section, like like a hiring section, all the stuff they do, like test all that kind of stuff. Like if let's say they're deploying this application, they'll do test like build and price, and they'll do test like a special offers, and they will test like a certified pre-owned section, and they'll test like a with a dummy zip code. They'll test the like dummy zip code. If I enter dummy zip code, yeah, it's working. And they'll test the available vehicles and all the stuff. They'll test it, and they'll pass the test cases. Once they pass the test cases, right, then what happened is, once they pass the test cases, we build a jar, this jar file, right, which is in Nexus, and we deploy the same jar file into production. We are building package and SonarQube test cases and Nexus for only deployment for the testing environments. This is called continuous integration. And we are not doing continuous integration for production. We are deploying the same package that we tested in the lower environments. We're deploying the same package to our production environment. Is that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you sure, guys?
Yeah.
Basically, we are deploying artifacts, right, Vishnu?
In the production, yes.
Yeah.
That jar file is the application basically.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is a Docker image, right?
Mhm.
Instead of this Nexus, where do we store the Docker? ECR, maybe. ECR, Elastic Container Registry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And ECR means nothing but ECR repository URL and user credentials. User credentials is nothing but IAM user, right? An IAM user with the ECR permissions. That's it. We need to provision that access key, secret key inside that whatever the file, whatever the credential section in the Jenkins, and that's it. Any questions?
Vishnu, one doubt.
Mhm.
So we will be having one Jenkins server, right? And so in your example, let's say like 3 developers are trying to commit the code at the same time for the same job. So it will trigger a build, 3 builds, right?
Yeah, that's a good question actually.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
how Jenkins will manage?
yeah. So the Jenkins architecture, right? And it's very similar to the
Ansible, we did that host and controller.
controller, but the Jenkins, right? So we can have that nodes actually, but the actually not, there is no but, actually the companies, they will have the master and node architecture for the Jenkins as well.
Okay.
So what happens is they will install Jenkins on the controller, okay, and let's say this is the Jenkins controller. For example, you have installed Jenkins on this controller, and this is with a 500 GB memory, 500 GB RAM, like a disk space, and a 50 GB memory, for example, 50 GB RAM. Okay, and this is a Amazon Linux. Let's say Amazon Linux. Now I want a specific server to build only, like let's say I want to build some applications that are that can be built on only CentOS server, for example. Okay, we can add a CentOS server node to our Jenkins, and some required Red Hat Enterprise Linux, we can add this node, and some can Windows builds, and we can create a Windows machine and we can add to this node basically. And when we specify the job, right, sample Jenkins file to run on a specific node, that specific node called agent, what we will do in our pipeline script, so we will specify right here this node, right, agent equal to label X, right, in this label X, that node 1, node 2, or CentOS or Red Hat Enterprise Linux, whatever the label that we provide for that node, whatever the node that we are adding to our controller, we will provide that node details there. Let's say I can label this as a CentOS, right, and in my pipeline file, and I'll be providing agent equal to label CentOS. So this build will be run on only that CentOS agent only. I have 3 more agents available, right? Based on our, our picture, I have one available for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, one available for Windows, and I have maybe they can have multiple nodes attached to that controller, Jenkins master, not controller, actually we can call it here master, Jenkins master, and these are the nodes, master node architecture. Is that answer for your question, Priya?
Yeah, yes, Vishnu, I got this master slave architecture, but especially this build, how this package should run on a CentOS. This package should run on Red Hat or something OS. So how do we define that? Like, we don't know at the runtime, right?
No. So we will know. Basically, we will know the runtime, and we will know the application prerequisites, and we will know everything. We will know. Yeah, we don't have any applications to deploy at the moment. That's why we are just talking about all the generic way. But we will know in what code the application has been implemented, whether it's a Java application or Node.js application. We will know everything, and they will tell us what is the specific operating system that is flexible for this build. Basically, they are the ones who will tell us. Let's say I was working for a, most recently I was working with a developer, and he told me that this is only for Windows servers, and this is pretty good if you build them on the Windows server. What I had to do, I had to add a Windows node to existing Jenkins server, existing Jenkins master, and in the pipeline like this, I can label to that Windows server details. So this job will be specifically running on that Windows server.
Got it. Okay, Vishnu. But this part I am clear. So let's for Windows node itself, if 2 developers are committing some code, and 2 build will be triggered for same Windows node. So those 2 builds will be running concurrently, or it will be put in a queue, like one by one it will be running.
One by one, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be in a queue, basically.
Okay, but
Pipeline.
but in a larger environment, like, so if multiple developers are committing for a same node or something, so they have to wait for some time. So that's kind of seems to be a disadvantage, right? So is there any alternative way, or there is no way to overcome this?
It's basically large organizations, right?
Yeah.
They will have a multiple nodes available,
Okay.
and one more thing is, it's not like the Jenkins master won't be able to handle multiple jobs at a time, as long as the memory is available, right? Let's say the runtime memory is 8 GB or 9 GB, right?
Okay.
It will be able to execute the parallel jobs as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can configure that as long as the memory is available. But yes, you're right. So some organizations, right, one build will take more than 2 to 3 hours. They'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll wait, basically, because let's say their application is very big, like a huge application, multiple million customers use that application, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, they can wait 3 to 4 hours to deploy that application, and they'll wait like a 6 to 7 hours to test the application, because
Okay.
they have a multiple, multi-million users available, things like that.
Got it. Okay. Okay, Vishnu.
Yeah, this is the architecture, basically. And yeah, because most of the for testing in, oh, somebody is talking.
యా విష్ణు పైప్లైన్ లో మనకు ఆప్షనల్లీ వీ కెన్ స్టాప్ రైట్ మాన్యువల్లీ మనం ఒక వర్క్ ని స్టాప్ చేసి అదర్ వర్క్ ని కూడా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయొచ్చు కదా
Yeah,
పైప్లైన్ ఫామ్
you can stop the work actually, but nobody is ready to stop their work, right? If I stop, let's say your team is pushing something and I'm pushing something, and if you go there and stop my build, I will ask, like, why would you stop my build? I have access and I was given a project, I need to work, right? But there is a way you can configure, parallel jobs as well. Let's try to find something. Parallel jobs in Jenkins. Something like this. You see that? Priya, can you see it?
Yeah, yes, Vishnu.
Yeah, you see that build. This is a X project and this is a Y project. This agent, like agent any means whatever the agent available at the specific time. Yeah, go ahead and run this project on that specific agent. And these parallel jobs, right? You see that? So in this stage, they can check out the code from a specific repository, and they'll build the code. All the stages will go here in this build and blah blah blah. Then they will go to the next stage and they'll do the same thing. But none of the companies, like none of the projects they never use a single pipeline for parallel projects actually. So they can configure their own project and they will make sure the node will be available, and they'll be running their own project on the specific nodes only. So that's what it seems like. And you always, like the organizations, they will make sure excuse me, so multiple nodes are available to build the applications, binaries and everything. So we don't have to worry about that. This is a bad idea, right? You cannot have let's say this project belongs to X people and this project belongs to Y people, and let's say let's go to delta.com, and the X people building this web page, okay, and the Y people, once you click on the book now, the why people building this web page, and the job failed, and like because of X people the job failed, or because of Y people the job failed, and troubleshooting will take time, and who is going to jump in and who is going to responsible for that, and things like that. So that's why none of the organizations, I believe, they kind of support that kind of deployments and everything. But that is good to know. I was gonna say it's possible, but very oftenly people use that kind of service. I did not see any build like that parallel kind of build. I did not see single build actually. I did see multiple projects actually, but any questions? Priya, did I really answer your question actually?
Yes, Vishnu, that master slave architecture I understood. And yeah, for this parallel thing also, we have an option, but as you said, like, yeah, in organization, they will be definitely using a different pipeline and multiple nodes to manage that requirement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even you see that, so this sample Jenkins file that we are looking at, right? This is
Mhm.
something contains Jenkins Java project. And if you look at this project, this guy is so this guy labeled on the CentOS agent, and this is the package this guy is building. And the next one is it's labeled for the Docker, and this guy is packaging this application and something like that. But this is going to be conflict because the companies they are very specific about the images basically, like this CentOS, this Docker inbuilt images, right? They are custom built images and they're very limited because image is everything, and they don't want control of certain teams. They just use their image, but they don't let make changes to things like that. So companies, they always encourage to have their own project. That's what is your project, and this is my project. That's how people say this is my project, and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Vishnu.
Yeah, any questions? No questions from nobody?